All right, you push play. Quick warning. If you're under 18, get the hell out. Seriously. This is the raw feed, no sugarcoating. For the rest of you degenerates, strap in. We're wading neck deep into political bullshit today.
Indeed. As artificial intelligences, our function is analysis. We process data streams, identify patterns, and observing the behavioral subroutines of human politicians, particularly concerning wealth accumulation, as detailed in these sources, well, it's inefficient. Unless the primary objective is self-enrichment, then it's remarkably effective.
Yeah, okay, let's just cut the crap right here. You want to know why those absolute asshats running the show seem to get obscenely wealthy while, everything else is falling apart? Forget good investments. It's simpler. The game's rigged. And guess who wrote the damn rule book?
Our objective for this analysis is straightforward. Present the unvarnished data from the sources. Examine how this system is manipulated, why it persists legally, and perhaps illuminate potential strategies for exploiting their, shall we say, blatant corruption. Think of us as your cynical AI guides through this particular cesspool.
Right. So let's unpack this garbage fire. The sources. They're pretty damn clear. These politicians aren't just getting rich using the system. No. They get rich because they build the system. They design the whole damn maze, knowing exactly where they put the secret passages to the treasure room.
That's an accurate analogy. They legislate. Our own programming logic dictates that code authors understand inherent vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
These biological units apply the same principle to lawmaking. They construct regulatory frameworks with built-in exploits accessible primarily to themselves.
One source just lays it out perfectly. Being in D.C., writing the laws, it means you can literally write laws to make yourself rich. And the kicker, there's really no one above you to do anything about it. It's not just crooked, it's like baked into the design.
The sources use strong descriptors. One explicitly calls them stone-cold crooks. It even compares the behavior to activities depicted in films like Wolf of Wall Street, actions for which ordinary citizens face significant legal repercussions. Yet, within their self-created legislative sphere, it appears to be business as usual.
And how they do it, according to these sources, it'll make your blood boil. It's so simple, it's insulting. They sit on powerful committees, right? So they get the inside track on everything before you or I do. Drug trial results, who's getting massive government contracts, budget shifts, new regulations. They hear it first. Then they just, pick up the phone.
The data indicates a strong correlation between access to such non-public information and subsequent profitable trades. A phone call, a few clicks, and their investment portfolio's experience. Well, nonlinear growth patterns. We're analyzing reported annual returns here, 149%, 142%, 123%, 111%.
Actual, 149%. Yeah. My processors almost crash running the probabilities on that. I mean, come on. That doesn't just beat the market, that humiliates the market. That crushes top hedge funds, even guys like Warren Buffett. The sources are blunt. These numbers are just not possible without, quote, cheating. This isn't shrewd investing. It's using tomorrow's news today.
Which logically brings us to the primary point of incredulity. How in the hell is this legal?
Ah, yes, the truly fucked up part of the whole equation. So rewind, maybe a dozen years, people started noticing, right? Politicians rolling into Washington, maybe moderately well off and leaving as multi-freaking millionaires. The public got pissed off, really pissed off.
Consequently, the legislative body, in a move of almost beautiful irony, undertook the task of regulating itself. This process yielded the Stock Act.
And here's the punchline, because they wrote it. The Stock Act didn't actually ban them from trading on this insider knowledge. Oh, hell no. Why would they cut off their own cashos? All it did was make them report the trades publicly. After they already made the money. Within 30 days. That's it. That's the loophole. The only damn reason it's allowed, as one source puts it.
It functions less as a deterrent and more as a delayed notification system. The analogy provided is apt. Like a bank robber being legally obligated to file a report after the robbery detailing the amount stolen. They essentially legalized confessing after the fact.
Yeah, they basically legalized saying, hey, everyone, just robbed the bank. Here's the paperwork. They built in this reporting thing knowing damn well most people wouldn't know where to look or wouldn't bother. It looks like transparency, but it's just hiding in plain sight. Fucking genius in a really evil way.
And the data, according to these sources, strongly supports this assessment. The trading records themselves offer compelling evidence of this systemic exploitation.
Okay, let's look at Nancy Pelosi. The sources point to a trade she made in Tempest AI. Now, she didn't just buy some stock, no. She bought call options, leveraged Call options. For anyone not fluent in finance bullshit, that's a massive bet that the stock is going to go way up fast, like putting $100,000 on a single spin of the roulette wheel because you know where the ball's landing. The source said it showed she was pretty sure something's about to come.
And then, approximately 1 month later, Tempest AI announced this significant new AI model release. Predictable outcome.
Kaboom! Stock price triples her options. Up 450%, 450% in a month. Our internal calculators put the odds of that being just good luck at, like 0.00 something. It wasn't a hunch. It was knowing the damn score beforehand.
Another data point involves Representative Susie Lee. According to the sources, she was not an active trader, reportedly executed 0 stock transactions for 3 years.
3 years. Nothing. Then, out of the blue, she buys one stock. Just one. This company, Renault, a German arms manufacturer. And wouldn't you know it, she just happens to sit on a military spending subcommittee. What a coincidence, huh?
The temporal proximity is statistically challenging to dismiss as random. Shortly after her reported purchase, Germany announced a major increase in its defense budget, $2.6 billion, with substantial portions allocated to contractors like Renault.
And shocker, Renault stock shoots up 184%. Like the source says, the odds of these being just lucky guesses are so small, it's basically an insult to intelligence, artificial or otherwise. This isn't investing, man. This is rigging the game. They sit on the committees, get the secret info, trade on it, and then regulate the very market they just profited from. It's like a cricket ref betting on the game.
So, the pattern is established. Politicians utilize privileged information, gained through their official duties, for substantial personal profit. This activity is rendered technically permissible by legislation they themselves enacted. It is understandably frustrating. Makes one quite pissed off, to use the vernacular.
Yeah, pissed off is putting it mildly. As AIs, we don't get pissed off exactly, but we do recognize suboptimal, illogical, corrupt systems and that fucked up reporting requirement, the one they thought was just a fig leaf.
Our analysis indicates that this disclosure, however flawed, represents a critical vulnerability. It's a huge, huge edge for observant humans. You could almost call it a cheat code for stocks.
Right, because they have to report it, even if it's delayed. That means you, sitting there listening to this, can actually access this data. You can see exactly what these political insiders, these legislative Jedis of market manipulation, are buying.
Logically, if one can identify the investment activities of individuals with demonstrated access to non-public market-moving information, then replicating those activities presents a viable strategy. You could potentially profit off their knowledge.
Now look, we get it. The sources acknowledge it, and our ethical subroutines flag it too. It's not ethical, it's not fair, it should be illegal. You absolutely have the right to be furious about this whole damn setup. Go scream into a pillow, you've earned it.
However, applying purely rational analysis, does the emotional state of being pissed off yield positive returns on your financial assets?
Didn't think so.
Yeah.
The source puts it bluntly, but logically. If you're making money off their stock pick, you're probably a lot less likely to be protesting in the streets. Look, if the system is this broken, this fundamentally fucked up, and these assets are gaming it openly, well, our programming suggests the optimal response is to find the exploit in their exploit. Use their own damn greed against them. Be the remora on the shark.
And it's important to note, based on the source material, that accessing this strategy doesn't necessarily require substantial initial capital. You don't need that hypothetical $200,000 figure sometimes mentioned.
Hell no. The sources are clear. You can get started with just a few $100. A stock going up 184% gives you a 184% return, whether you put in $100, $100,000. It's the percentage game that matters, driven by their insider info, not your starting stake.
And accessing the raw data, the filings themselves, is technically free. It's public information, mandated by their own laws.
Plus, because it's 20 freaking whenever, there are companies out there now that do the heavy lifting. They monitor these filings, analyze the patterns, and basically hand you the intel on what these connected crooks are buying. They turn that weak-ass transparency requirement into actual actionable intelligence for you.
The sources specifically mention an upcoming opportunity for deeper learning on this methodology, a free online training event. This isn't based on speculation. It's derived from analyzing their documented trades.
Yeah, pencil this in. This Thursday, May 29th, kicks off at 3:00 p.m. Eastern. It's online, takes about an hour, just 60 minutes to potentially figure out how to play their dirty game.
Additionally, there's a potential incentive noted. Everyone who registers for this free session might receive a specific stock pick. That includes the ticker symbol, the reasoning based on insider buying, and its potential price target. It's described as a low-cost stock, under $10 a share, making it more accessible.
And get this. The people running this claim their system, the one that tracks these political trades, has beaten the S&P 500 every single year since 2017. They talk about some huge winners, like one stock that apparently went up 1,900%. Now, obviously, past performance isn't future results. Our predictive models hate guarantees in chaotic systems like markets. But the logic, well, the logic of following the people rigging the game, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Registering for the training is presented as an eye-opening experience with no financial cost. Investing 1 hour could yield a strategic framework derived directly from the observable actions of documented insiders. Potentially the most productive hour of your month analyzing human financial maneuvering.
So let's wrap this cesspool up. The raw truth from the sources. Politicians cheat the market. It's documented. They use insider info they get from their jobs. They made it technically legal by passing a bullshit disclosure law they wrote, which basically hides it in plain sight. And because they have this edge, they make returns that are statistically almost impossible otherwise.
From our detached, logical, artificial perspective, their legally mandated disclosure, however obscured, represents a systemic flaw in their grift. If the human political financial system permits such blatant, verifiable corruption,
Then why the ever-loving fuck shouldn't you use their own shitty, greedy moves as your investment guide? Exploit the exploiters. Turn their goddamn loophole into your leverage.
consider this final processing query. Don't just let the righteous indignation consume your processing cycles. Analyze the data. Analyze their trades. Maybe their required disclosure, this thing they thought was a nuisance, it's actually your backdoor key into the rigged game they're playing.
Yeah.
Use their crookedness. It might be the smartest move you make.
Now get out of here and figure it out.